Hey kiddos, it's time for cooking again. So we are going to be making a rainbow fruit salad today. So there's a few little extra parts to this that you're going to watch me do that the recipe does not necessarily have in it. And it is probably something that you're going to want your parents or guardian or someone to help you with. So just be aware of that. But as you can see on the screen right now, things that we're going to need, our ingredients are strawberries, and they need to be sliced. So that's one thing that we're going to have to do because mine are not already sliced, they're whole. So that's what I have. I have my strawberries, cantaloupe, we have pineapple tidbits, we have green grapes and purple grapes. I also have lime juice. I have some yummy, yummy honey. I have a large bowl, a small bowl, and my spoon. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So the very first thing that you need to do, and it might not actually say it on here yet, but you need to make sure that your fruit is all washed, especially if you buy it straight from the store or from outside. And so the cantaloupe has already been cut up and washed. So has the pineapple, but the strawberries and the grapes are going to need to be washed. So I am going to show you how to wash the strawberries, and then I'm going to wash the grapes. And so I might pause it in between, but you won't see a difference. All right, kiddos, I have placed my strawberries that I'm going to use into a colander, which is a bowl that has holes in it. And what I'm going to do is run the water, and I'm going to kind of rub the strawberries and make sure that the water gets all over them and it gets off any of the dirt. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and turn on the water. So I'm going to rub them down. Make sure all the dirt gets off of them. We want to make sure there's no dirt because we don't want to get sick from anything that might be on it. All right. So it's super simple. Those are already done. I'm going to move these over to the cutting board, and now I'm going to grab some grapes and do the same thing. Okay, I have my grapes that you can see over here. So I'm going to go back and see how many grapes I need. About 1.5 cups of green grapes. All right, so I broke off my little sprig I'm going to use. Do the same thing. We need to wash them all off. And now's a good time. You can also go ahead and just pull these off the twig. Makes it easier. Okay, now this is the trash part. That you don't want to eat the stem. I'm going to set it over on the other side real quick. So I'm going to give these another little toss in here. Make sure they're clean. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the purple grapes. All right, here's my purple grapes. I'm going to rinse them off and do the same thing. I'm going to pull them off the twig or the stem. Some of the pieces might still have a twig on them or a stem. We will cut that off and make sure that they're totally clean when we chop them up. All right, so I have my big group of fruit here. And this is looking good and clean. I'm going to turn off the water now. So I like to clean as I go, so I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of the fruit that we're not going to use back in the fridge. All right, putting it all up. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is cut up the strawberries and the grapes. So I'm going to move you over here where you can see that. All right, so we're going to start with our strawberries here. So we need to have these sliced. So the way that's going to work is that we don't eat the green part on a strawberry. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut that part off because we're not going to eat that. We also want to make sure that if there's any kind of bad spots in the strawberry, we don't want to eat that either. So that one had a little spot, so I'm going to get rid of it. The rest of the strawberry is really, really good. So I'm going to go ahead and just slice it. Make sure if you're using a knife that you are being extra careful not to hurt your fingers. And this might be a part that you might want a parent or someone to help you with. So see, we just have little strips of strawberries here. And what we're going to do is put these into the bowl. Now I'm going to flip our directions over to see if it needs to go in the large bowl or into the small bowl. Okay, the large bowl. So I'm going to go ahead. I have a big blue bowl here. I'm going to set it right there. I'm going to go ahead and throw the good parts into that. All right. We're doing great. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this and cut the rest of these up. And then I will be right back. All right, we're back. I have cut up all of my strawberries. You can see them in there. And now I have my grapes. And the grapes need to be cut in half. But I want you to see how this one still has a little stem on the top? We don't want to eat that. So we want to make sure that we pull that off and that part goes in the trash. These other ones were already okay. So what we're doing is we're only cutting these in half. So we're not going to chop them all up. We're just going to take them and slice right down the middle, cut in half. Okay. So our grape that was whole like this now is cut in half. And that is going to go into the large bowl. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and cut all these up to save some time so you're not have to sit here just watching me cut and cut and cut. And then we'll be back when we get everything into the bowl. Hey, back again. So we have our strawberries and grapes all mixed up and in our big bowl. So now the next thing we need to do is get the pineapple ready. So pineapple tidbits come in a can and they're already cut up for you because it's really hard to cut up a pineapple. So what we're going to do is use the same colander. Remember, that's the bowl with the holes in it. And we're going to drain them. You're just going to pour the whole thing in and all the juice is going to go through the holes. And so it drains it. And all we want is the fruit. We don't want all the juice. So I'm going to go ahead and start pouring all of that into our colander, okay? So it's just an easy open can. You don't need a can opener. This you can just pop by yourself. Okay, so it's open now. I'm gonna tilt this down where you can see me pouring it all in there. I want to get all the little pieces out. I'm gonna pull back the can top just a hair more. All of our yummy pieces out. All right, the can is empty. I'm going to set it over here. I am going to actually run a little bit of water over this. That just makes sure, and you can see the water falling off the bottom of the bowl. That makes sure that we get all of that juice out. So We only need, I believe it's a cup and a half. Let's check our recipe. We want to always make sure. It says a whole 20-ounce can. Well, I'm pretty sure that was exactly what we had with a 20-ounce can. So we're going to put that entire amount of pineapple into the big bowl. So I'm going to let you watch me do that. Our big bowl is right here. So I'm going to take all this pineapple and pour it on in. I'm going to use that spoon that we have over here just to make sure we get it all in there. All right. Like I said, I'm still cleaning as we go. All right. So there's only one fruit left that we have not done anything with yet, and that is our cantaloupe. Now, cantaloupe is a melon. Some people love cantaloupe, and some people are not big fans. So it just kind of depends on who you are. So these are cantaloupe chunks. I honestly feel like they probably need to be a little smaller, so I'm going to chop up just a little bit. So I'm going to get the cutting board back. I got it here. Because we want pieces of cantaloupe, but we don't want big chunks. Opening up our little thing we got here that we bought. Making sure to be careful not to cut myself. All right. So see how big one chunk is? So I'm going to cut that up just a little bit where you can see. We're just going to kind of slice. This should slice pretty easy. Yeah, just like that. Just make little pieces. Makes it easier bite size. So I'm going to get my cup, because it's supposed to be a cup and a half. So I'm going to use that as my guide and measurement and make sure that we're not getting, look, here's like a caterpillar version. It's been partly cut up, but not all the way. So we're going to continue to do some chopping here. Another good snack that I like is to eat cantaloupe with a little bit of salt on it. That's something that my family grew up eating, and we like it a lot. That's a shout out to my grandma, my abuela. All right, we're just getting this still cut up into that smaller pieces, just like we did our strawberries and our grapes. All right, so that's about 1 cup. So I'm going to pour that into the big bowl. And now I need another half of a cup. So I'm just going to do a few more little pieces here. Probably one more piece will do the trick. And I was right. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the big bowl with everything else. You'll probably have some leftover fruit, so I'm going to throw this in the fridge really quick. Okay, so we have completed, well, almost completed step 1. So we have gotten all of the fruit into the bowl, but now it says we need to stir. So I've got my bowl with all the fruit. Look how awesome and all the pretty colors that looks. And it says stir it up, so that's what we're going to do. So remember, this is called a rainbow fruit salad. So we should be able to see the purple grapes, the green grapes, the orange cantaloupe, the yellow pineapple, and the red strawberries. That is what makes it look like a rainbow. All right, I think that looks pretty well mixed. So we're going to move to step 2. Put honey and lime juice into the small bowl. So I'm going to move that bowl out of the way, and here's our small bowl. So let's go back to our ingredients to see how much we need. For honey, right here, we need 1/4 of a cup. I'm going to grab my 4th cup. So here is 1/4 of a cup. A 1/4 will say 1-4. That's a fraction, 1/4 of 1 cup. So it takes 4 of these smaller ones to make 1 of these bigger ones. So this is 1 cup, this is 1/4. Throw a little math in there for you. All right, so let's put the honey in. So we got some homemade honey here. This is the kind of stuff that Miss Watts likes. I like the all natural stuff if I can. All right, so I'm pouring the honey. Okay. I'm gonna pour that into the bowl. A little multitasking over here. Let's see if I can get this lid back on right. Got it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this up. Trying to make sure I get all that honey out of there. I do love me some honey. Honey can be very sticky, so sometimes it takes a long time to get everything out. All right. I think we got it. I'm gonna wash my hands real quick. I got some stuff on another sticky. All right. Remember that I just washed my hands because I got honey on me and it was sticky. But also remember to wash your hands before you start cooking. I did that. I didn't say it, but make sure that you do that because that's always an important part. All right, so next is to put the lime juice in. So let's go check our lime juice. I think it's 2 tablespoons, correct. Okay, so if you'll look here, it says 2 T of lime juice. This is a big T. A big T stands for tablespoon, TBS. So you can see a difference. Sometimes in a recipe, you might see a little t. And if that's the case, that means TSP. So look at the difference in the sizes of these spoons. The teaspoon can fit in the big one. Big one can't fit in the small one. So if it's a uppercase T in our recipe, we're going to use the big spoon, the tablespoon. Okay, so we need 2 tablespoons of lime juice. So I have a little bottle of lime juice here that I'm trying to use up. So I'm gonna do that first. See if I can get some more lime juice out of it. All right, so it's about empty. It didn't even give me a full tablespoon. So I'm gonna come over here and open this up. Being very careful not to spill anything. Okay. So here's some more lime juice. So I want a spoonful here. All right, so there's 1. And there is 2. Okay, so we're done with this. I'm gonna put it in the sink. I'm grabbing a small spoon. And what I'm gonna do is stir. If you look at our recipe over here, it says to Put honey and lime juice into the small bowl and stir. So that's what I'm going to do now. We're going to stir it all up. If you remember in our last cooking video, we talked about how if we put 2 or more things together, it becomes a mixture. So the honey is thick and the lime juice is thin. And when we mix them together, it kind of combines into a sauce, so to speak. It shouldn't feel like lime juice or honey. It should be kind of in between. So moving to our next page of our recipe, pour honey mixture into the large bowl with the fruit. That's what we're going to do. Here's our large bowl and small bowl. All right, you're going to see me pour this into it. All right. I'm making sure I get everything out of the small bowl. We want all that yummy goodness. Okay, I'm going to set this bowl in the sink because we're done with it. And now I'm going to use my big spoon to mix it all together. Now this recipe can feed quite a lot of people. If we go back and look at the first page of the recipe, let's see what it says. It says it can serve 8 people. So that might be your whole family, or you might even have more than that in your family. We don't know. You might have some leftovers. Okay. With that, our rainbow fruit salad is complete. It is time to eat. So look how yummy that looks. I'm going to get a fork and try maybe a little piece of pineapple or strawberry. Those are my favorites of the fruits in here. All right, there's some pineapple. Let me grab a little piece of strawberry. Okay, see what we think. I'm going to be eating on this today. That is good. All right, I think we have successfully made our rainbow fruit salad. I hope you get to give this a try at home with your family. It tastes really good and it's healthy, and that's important. So y'all stay healthy out there with your families, and I will see y'all later. Bye-bye.